Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario, and this is going to be a bit of a... I'm hoping this will be a fun video. This is going to be a long video as well, too, because we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff here, but right here, it looks like I'm just, I just have this spare Xbox 360 motherboard, and you're right on that. But huge shout out goes to the ThePspivan. His link will be down below in the description. This is actually a donation from him, right? He donated this console to me because I'll tell you all the story behind this. So you're probably seeing, in the title, you know what's up. But I want to tell you, how this all happened and stuff. And if anybody doesn't like it, hey, without him, this video wouldn't be possible. But he is, he's on YouTube here, he's on Assembler, he's on a few other different social media sites and all that, so I've seen him around for years. He's been a subscriber of the channel for years as well, too. And he's into, of course, like Xbox 360 modifications, but also dev hardware and all that other fun stuff. And what happened is, on Twitter, he recently had made an account on there, he followed me, and I said, hey, you know what, sure, I'll follow back. I know the guy, I'm cool with him, whatever. But what happened was, he ended up DMing me. And he DM'd me and said, hey, I have a JTAG Jasper motherboard, and I'd like to donate it to you if possible. And I looked, and I remember I just kind of did a double take, because I'm like, wait a minute, what? So, you have a JTAG Jasper motherboard, and you just want, you just want to donate it to me? That's it? You just want to donate it? But on top of that, this being the reason why this is so special is because the Xbox 360 is one of my favorite consoles. Out of my favorite out of the motherboards on 360, my favorite one is the Jasper, and my favorite hard mod is the JTAG. I think it is the coolest one, it was the most reliable, all that other fun stuff. So yeah, no, we're going to have a fun time with this right here. I haven't tested anything out on it yet, but, and I already, of course, took it out of the box here just to make sure, it was available and such. But what happened was, he asked me, he's like, hey, I'd like to donate it, and I was like, are you sure? Like, do you want anything for it? He's like, no, dude, just shipping and handling, that's it. And if by the way, if anyone wants to donate anything, you don't have to. You don't have to. He was really awesome for doing this. Thank you so much, man, if you're watching. Hopefully you are. But he was amazing for doing this. But I'm just like, are you sure? Like, you don't want anything else? So I paid him 15 bucks. That was enough to cover the shipping and handling. He sent this over to me, and we have it right here. It's sitting here on the box, and it was shipped in on my floor. So here is what all is in here. We got, the screws and stuff for the system. All the screws are in the actual, the system screwed in is what I'm trying to say right here. It's not complete though. It does have the drive board, and from what I know, this is the actual drive board that came with the console right here. And he also threw in these diodes. I'm going to need, I think, a couple diodes for the modification itself. But it's missing several things. First off, it's missing a fan, it's missing a fan shroud, it's missing the ring of light. It's also going to need a case, and with the case, it's also going to need, these 6 screws that are all on it. But y'all know me, I have spare 360s and all that stuff, so let's see what systems are kind of going to be donors on here. So, out of all the systems I have, first off, this is probably the shittiest one I have right here. This I end up finding in one of my bookcases, I guess, and this thing was, this thing's just like long gone stuff. Oh! I was actually using this to practice soldering on. Yeah, this system was completely bunk. I think I got this for like $5 years ago. As you can see, it has these big-ass bolts in it. I didn't do that. I did not do that at all. But yeah, no, this has a ring of light to it and everything. This is a Falcon, for anyone that was wondering. And yeah, from what I know, I think I just practiced soldering on this system. But it has some other messed up things with it, too. I don't remember exactly what was wrong with this. Maybe we could check it out, who knows. But I mean, look at that. Like, look, it's damaged and everything. So, yeah, it has a Hitachi drive with it, which, okay, to be honest, I don't even know if this was with the system. I just found it, like, thrown into the system. But look, I can tell that I didn't care about it at all due to the fact that I had gloves, like, inside the system. I had gloves right there and a VGA cable. So this system was literally storage. So we'll go ahead and throw that over. For cases, I got a few I can pick. I got this black one, which I think this is the first ever Xbox 360 that I owned. I believe it's it, and I kept the case for it. The 360's gone, because that thing was foobarred. But there's that. This system right here, which I actually forgot about in a way. I need to reload it. But this is a full, like, I even got, a hard drive case and everything. And for any long-time watchers, if you look inside, I don't know if y'all can tell, because it's dark in there and stuff, but this is actually the Tissue Box 360. It was in my closet. So these two cases were in one of my closets here. And then this system, this is an actual full system aside from, you know, the hard drive right there. And some people might be all like, ooh, this thing's red, it's cool. Yeah, this is actually the first system I painted. This system was just like a play around system. I think it was given to me for free. It was red ringed. I didn't care about it at all, so I heat gunned the board. I got it working temporarily. The drive is flashing here from what I remember, and then I end up painting it. Because again, you know, it was just my play around system, but you could see, you know, the paint is kind of chipping right there. Chipping a little bit right there too. It looks better on camera, I'll say that. But yeah, no, this is a fun system to play around with. I even, like, look at how silly this was, just to give it a bit of an accent. I think I used a Sharpie just to color in the eject button and the Xbox 360 right there. This system, foobarred. Again, though, I'm not going to try fixing it or anything, but all the parts are in there. So aside from the motherboard, everything else is usable. The ring of lights, the fan shroud, the fans. I don't remember if the fans are modded. That's the thing. I'm trying to find a system that I can gut the fans out of. I might have some spare fans. I think I might. I'll check on that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip this system apart right here, and we're going to take a look inside. Alright, so we got this 360 here all opened up, and you know, I have a few things I can use at least. Let me see. Oh, actually, I don't know if I have... yeah, no, I don't remember if I have another... Because, see, there was that 360 I had where I made, you know, that video with Caitlin on and everything that was completely busted, but I threw that stuff away because I was like, oh, I'm not going to use this, honestly. I just realized I have this all still drawn on here and all that stuff, so with that, with the eject button. So at least I got an eject button I could use. I have a clean bezel right here, but I also have, you know, the marked bezel if I want to use that. Although, really unfortunate, but... I don't know if it's me getting rusty, or if it was the case itself being kind of brittle, or if it's these tools right here. I couldn't find, I got the, what the hell was this thing called? The Unlock Kit V3 years ago from Team Executor. And I don't like these, to be honest. I have actually like one of those like things that you can get for $1. It's just one piece and it opens your 360 on. I love that thing and I can't find it right now. I'm too lazy to look for it. So I use these tools to open the case, and in the process I actually ended up like partially breaking this case right here. That's really disappointing. Man, that's disappointing. But anyways, not too worried about it at least. So we got that here. We got a inside here a BenQ drive, which that one originally had a light on, but what I plan on doing as well too, I'd rather have the BenQ compared to the Hitachi drive I have. So when we JTAG it, we're gonna get the CPU and DVD keys anyways, and I'll just take the DVD key, create a new firmware, flash it over to here, pop it in that system, and then right here. See, I did this fan modification because the system was repaired. I ended up running the fans at 8.7 volts as opposed to their regular 5 and being regulated by the console itself. So it's fine, but it runs a little bit louder than it needs to. Although for Jasper, I'm not worried about that at all. I would rather have, I have fresh wiring, but I need a uncut fan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look and see if I have a spare fan real quick. Man, see, I knew this was going to be a fun video because I just went through memory lane looking for one of these, right? So I opened up, I have a box just full of 360 like miscellaneous cables and stuff. It's like 90% power supplies, straight up, not going to lie. And I did find a spare fan, although it's one of the original 4-prong models, not the 3-prong one that I need. This one's for the Xenon board and such, so I could rewire this technically, but I want this to just be clean. Although, looking through some stuff, you know, I found a transfer cable in there, which is pretty cool. Then I was looking through my toolkit, and I found a second transfer cable. But enough of that, I actually end up finding, this is from like my original repair days, right? I found some spare parts that I had, just, you know, when I was first opening up 360s and stuff. And right in here, looks like we have a few spare things that we can use. So, you know, I got a few eject buttons. I got like 2 clean eject buttons, so I'm going to use one of those probably. I got screws as well too. So this system, when I took it apart, was actually missing 1 screw. So now I'm going to have, you know, a 6th screw for it. Got the fans that I can use. So yeah, now I just need to conglomerate everything into one pile and be like, this is the pile I'm going to use to build this one Jasper JTAG. But man, this has been fun so far. Okay, so right over here we got the Jasper again. I'm going to go ahead and take these fans right here, just pop them in. We're probably going to be ripping this whole system apart anyways here soon. But let's go ahead, just get it all plugged up and stuff, make sure it's working well enough. Oh, Nope, just looking a bit off key here. There we go. Alright, so the fan's plugged in. Let me grab a shroud real quick. I'll just yank this one from right here. So, got the fan shroud. We're also going to need a ring of light. Let me grab, because I don't feel like unscrewing this one, to be honest. I'll just grab the one that is already unscrewed. We're going to pop that on. We're going to need, you know what? Why'd I even do that? Hold on. Check this out. In this other bag I got right here, which you all can't see, but you can at least hear it, I do have a ring of light that has even like this little thing on it. So, we'll go ahead and just pop this off, put it back on the bad broken system that I had. I think I used that system, honestly, I think I just used it to test out my ring of light mods. So, put that in right there. DVD drive, I'm not going to hook it up right now at least, but we got this DVD drive that we can pair with it later. Of course, I'm going to have to flash it, so just put that right there. For the time being, I'm just going to unplug these two. And, yeah, you know, that's what the basic stuff we need to turn this system on, so we have at least that stuff in there safely. We got this. Let's go ahead and plug in the system. And, by the way, also, in my search for a power supply, I grabbed one, and, slight nostalgic thing right here, found out that this is most likely the one that I had in my bedroom back at my parents' house. Reason being is that I taped this over, because if you have this on at night in your room, this light just, I swear, illuminates everything when it's pitch black. So every single time I had a power supply in my room, I just taped it with some black, I think this is some black electrical tape, just tape it off, and so I wouldn't see it. But anyways, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and hook this up and make sure it works. Alright, so guys, moment of truth is right here. Let's go ahead and try and turn this thing on. Okay, seriously, don't be shy now. Whew! Alright. And feels like the fans are working. I can hear them. We're getting the green lights. And what's going on? Ooh! Old school boot up. Alright, cool. I know for sure this thing is JTAG, just because, well, one, he actually, he showed me footage of this and everything. And the other thing is, he was actually nice enough to check the CB on here as well to make sure that everything was fine. So, honestly, he actually probably could have even JTAG'd and sent it out to me, but I believe he also knows that I like the journey more than the actual end product sometimes, so this will be fun. But anyways, check that out. We need to be on dashboard 7371, and we got 7363. So because this is under, and he did verify the CB and made sure that the CB was fine, we can JTAG this system. Oh, man. This is exciting, you guys. This is truly exciting. This is awesome. Oh, let me also check and see what model this is right here. Model. Okay, it's a small block Jasper. Cool. So let's go ahead and turn this thing off. Man. Memory lane. Anyways, going to go ahead, unplug everything here. We're going to take this out of the cage. Oh, man, that's a tad bit dented. That's all good. We're going to take this out of the cage, and we are going to start working on the system right here. So let me get my soldering iron all heated up. Alright, so if I sound a little bit muffled, it's because I'm going to put a mask on here soon when I'm going to be soldering. But the reason why I'm on the bottom of the board is because ThePspivan, he actually recommended... oh, that's interesting, it says E64 right there. Anyways, he ended up recommending doing the odd clamp fix on there. So in case you don't know, odd clamp, I guess it's a different type of wiring you can do at the bottom of the board, because he was saying that these HDMI models of systems seem to be really prone to the E79 error. Now, if this is the same one I'm thinking of, I've only done one JTAG in the past, and it went fine. But I think I had a friend who had an HDMI JTAG that did that, and pretty much what it would mean is, you know, you turn it on, it would instantly get an E79. You have to keep turning it off and on until it boots up green. So it's not that the system's faulty, it's a side effect of the JTAG itself. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to go ahead and wire all that in. On top of that, let's see, so I do have some 30, you know, I'm going to take this mask off completely here. I do have some 30 gauge AWG like Kynar wire, but this is actually what I used for my very first JTAG. This is a jumper kit back from my computer science days, and I ended up using a few of these cables with the, well, a few of these jumpers with the, with the diodes soldered in, and it worked fine. That one I eventually did sell off, but it was fine. And also, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to try at one point to use some of this shrink wrap on the wiring itself too. I did also find my diodes from my only other JTAG I've done. I found my own diodes, but he was nice enough. Let me come off camera here. Again, he was nice enough to include some diodes in here, so these will probably, most likely, definitely need to get shortened. But either way, you know, we're going to need 2 diodes. We're going to need to, you know, solder them to a few points. He gave me, no, cool, he gave me an extra one. He told me he gave me 5 and I got 6, so sweet. But yeah, no, we're going to be using these, and we're going to get everything all wired in, so... First off, oh man, I need rubbing alcohol, or my isopropyl alcohol, excuse me. Let me grab that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, and by the way, I don't know if the guy cleaned this board or not, but this board is extremely clean. I'm very happy about that. Just going to put that over to the side there, and let's go ahead and clean up the points that we need to solder to. So it's going to be... I'm just looking at, he actually sent me a picture, he was nice enough to do that, of odd clamp itself, but these 2 points right here, I'll just clean up all of this, and we're also going to have to clean up this point that I'm going to have to solder to, and this right here. Cool.
Alright, so
now, after a few minutes of doing this, it was easier this time around. But as you can see, it looks like I am performing acupuncture on this 360 here. We got the jumper here, we got the 2 cables, you know, well, 2 wires on the bottom, as we showed already. I'm not going to cut off my soldering iron yet, because it is one of those that takes a minute, not even a minute, honestly, it takes like 5-10 minutes to heat up. But I am going to grab the NAND X. Let me grab this here. Here it is. And we're going to wire this up to the computer. And we're going to start dumping the NAND. And if it starts dumping the NAND properly, then at that point I'll feel safe enough to grab this. And let's see where this is supposed to go. I always forget where. I know this is notched as well too. So, yeah, is it this guy? Nope. Nope. Alright, which one is it for real? I said it's been a minute. It's been a hot minute since I've done this. It would be this one actually, because this one has more cables. Well, more pins, excuse me. The other one had 6 pins, that's how I was able to tell. Right here. Okay, so we got this, and we're going to go ahead and give the board... Let me just move this around. I don't want it, you know, touching anything directly. So we have that. I have this right here. So actually, make more sense if I do something like, you know what? You know what? Come on. There we go. Alright, I just kind of wanted to put this, I mean, technically it should still be fine, but I just kind of wanted to put this between the NAND X and whatever it was touching. So we have that there. Now I need to power up the 360, not turn it on, but I do need to supply power to it. So if we do that, that should be good enough. Alright, so just showing you all the setup a bit, that is the wiring that I was zoomed in on. You can get this through JRunner itself. I'm really happy JRunner is actually running on the on Windows 10 right here. I'm happy I was able to get that up and running, but as you can see, the system is, it would probably help if I refocus it, the system is powered in. Right here we have all the NAND read and write cables plugged up. We got the NAND X right there. And if we come over here, as you can see, got JRunner running, 2 NAND dumps, and then, let's go ahead and zoom in there a little bit, CB version of, come on, focus! Jesus, hold on. Okay. There we go. 6723. It defaulted to Jasper 512 megabytes for whatever reason. And yeah, it is going to be reading the NAND there. So we just need to get 2 successful NAND dumps, and then we'll be able to do all the other fun stuff with this. So let's go ahead and wait on that. Alright, so we're back here again, super professional, over 16 minutes later. And as you can see, we did NAND dump 1, NAND dump 2, and both NAND dumps are complete. Looks like we are on, yes, 7363, that's the dashboard, lowest it can go, well, technically not lowest, but 1888, that's, you know, the core one that's on there. KV info, nothing yet, because no bad blocks, that's good. We need the CPU key right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 NAND dumps, I'll even grab the checksum as well, and I'm just going to copy them into this JTAG Jasper right here, so that way we do have the backup. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a Zell Reloaded. I say Zell. And by the way, I had to do JTAG odd clamp. Looks like Zell file created successfully, Jasper hack big block odd clamp. And the file is right there. We're going to write it. So we're doing our first write of the system. And see, this is why also, even though it just saves you like a minuscule amount of time, that's done. Alright, even though it saves you a minuscule amount of time, at least now what I can do is, if the wiring is correct and all that stuff, because you remember I did the wiring and I did the JTAG, you know, NAND X points here. Normally what you would do is you would do all the NAND X points, you would dump your NANDs, and then you could create the Zell Reloaded file, dump it over if you want to. You could do all that in one step, and then you go back, you get down on the board again, you do all the wiring, and then you do the rest of the stuff. That way we did everything in one go, so we don't have to do that step. So the next time, hopefully, if the wiring's done properly, the next time I should touch this wiring is to desolder all this stuff. But what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to unhook this from everything here, and then we're going to boot up the 360, and if it boots up, we should be good. And just wanted to show you all this right here. I have booted it up once, but I turned it off because I wanted to show you all. But we're going to go ahead and turn this on. Also, I didn't plug the fans in, but there we go. Green lights near instantly. And let's check out what happens. There we go! Zell reloaded. Some people say Excel. I used to say Excel. I also say Zell now. And there's our CPU key. There's our DVD key. Now, what you could do is write those down, or take a picture, whatever it is. But I'm going to show you all something right here. We have this hooked up to our network right there, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to my JRunner, IP 192.168.1.210, get CPU key. Check that out. Didn't have to do any sort of effort right there. And there we go. It moved all the files over, so we have all that backed up, and the original drive was a light on right there. As you can see, that was expected. The DVD key is right there. It's a KV type of type 2. So there we go. So now at this point, let's go ahead and create our... Oh, I should grab the dash. So let's go ahead and do 17150. We're going to do that, and we're going to create our XE build image. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. Great. I'm going to have to clean up JRunner real quick. So let me go ahead and just do that, fix it up. I'll come back when I have the XE build image created. Alright, so we're going to try this a bit of a roundabout way here. What I used to do is I used to just clear out my JRunner install, because XE build sometimes would have that issue compiling a bin file, but I would clear out my JRunner install, extract it from the zip, and get a fresh instance of it. However, right now, unfortunately, as you could also see from the dashboard number, that was quite old, and because the JRunner website is kind of offline, I can't really do that as easily. So what I did was I just downloaded the latest build of XE build GUI that has the latest dashboard built into, which is 17511. Loaded in the source file. It's still the one that we dumped from before. Got the CPU key in there. Selected, it did a lot of this automatically. The only thing I had to change was odd clamp. So we're going to generate a hacked image. It's going to do this. Cool. I'm going to hit cancel right there. And where's it sitting at? It should be sitting right there. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and load this up in JRunner and see if we can flash it with that. Alright, so here, if you're checking this, we have, let me load this up, we have the update flash.bin file, the CPU key. It's a Jasper big block. Again, I made sure that that was all odd clamped and all that stuff, although I'll check it here, although that won't really make a difference since we're not compiling anything. It is running on 17511. NANDX is wired in, so let's go ahead and try writing the NAND. Let's try to do that right there. Let's do Jasper 512. And it is flashing over. So let's give that a shot and see what happens. By the way, before I go, something really cool that you can do. You remember how I got the IP and I grabbed it in here and all that stuff? If you go to that IP address in your browser, check this out. Not sure if many of you have seen this right here, but this will launch if you are loading Zell on, if you boot up into Zell and your system is on the network. And you can just go right here, you can download your raw flash, your key vault, fuses. You could set the DVD key there and all that stuff. Let's see, this has limited use and is kept here in case someone finds a need for it. Oh, okay, interesting. I've never done that before. But yeah, you can get your CPU and DVD key there easily, and that's also how, I don't know if it gets it from this webpage directly, but that's just how it can get, your keys and stuff quite easily. So I like to do that now as opposed to taking a screenshot, like taking a picture and then typing it up manually. Alright guys, we're gonna check it out now. Now I've already, complete honesty here, I have tried booting it. I've made sure, it's good to go. It's camera ready at least. But, this is all first time stuff. We didn't have to go back and fix up anything. So this has gone, aside from that hiccup with JRunner, it's gone incredibly smoothly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this thing on. Hopefully y'all can see that, kind of. There we go. We got green lights. That's a good sign. Xbox 360. Sweet. I don't have a controller or anything plugged in here, so I can't navigate. And then, of course, I don't have anything installed on there yet. But, as you can see, have the system up and running. So go ahead and turn that off. That is off. And let's hit the eject button, just to prove it's not a retail system. So again, we got the system right there. Should have booted. And there we go. We have Zell. So this is a completely working JTAG system with the odd clamp fix on there as well too. Now the nice thing is on that, if you now, because I had to select odd clamp manually because I was messing with the stock NAND on there. But the cool thing is, if I ever, so this is to anybody, because some people might be like, oh, I have a JTAG system, what if it's not odd clamped, or what if you flash it and odd clamp isn't there? I honestly wouldn't know. But if you now dump the NAND off of this system, it will have the odd clamp check mark, like the flag already in the NAND. So as long as you don't mess with any of the settings and XE build or something, you should be fine. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is turn this off, and now we are going to pair a DVD drive with it, so I'll show you all that. Alright, so we have an even bigger mess of junk right here. I'm being a bit lazy and I'm just using the 360 to power on. Well, not yet, but right there I'm just using the 360 to power on the DVD drive. I can hear it moving. We got the 360 USB Pro version 2 hooked up here, which I have not used, and you have to get power running to that, and I'm lazy, man. I'm lazy right now. So we're gonna go ahead and give this a shot. If we check this, oh, come on, man. Well, it looks like it's opened here. Not sure. We'll see what's going on with this. Oh, actually not sure if I could send the commands over. Actually, I should be able to on that. Interesting. You know what? Let me try my my older one, because I don't feel like debugging this right now. Alright, so maybe I should call this one Old Faithful. Let's see. That is the version 1, the special jungle edition, I guess you can call it. We have it now running. Let's go ahead and see. Okay, detect the drive. Ah, why can't it? Saying USB Pro is open. So, damn it, there we go. This is a case of try again. I literally tried it 1 or 2 more times, then it finally loaded up in here. So, and thank you so much for the horrible ads here. This is one of those like spammy ads. It says your computer's infected and all that. Anyways, we have this powered up now with the Xbox. We have it all hooked up with that. As you can see, it is reading all this right here. So I'm going to go to MTK Flash 32, BinQ unlock, sending magic keys. Let's see if I still remember how to do all this without a guide. BinQs are pretty easy anyways. Alright, drive is in vendor mode. Let's go ahead, read. This should have custom firmware on it already. Alright, and we're going to have to save it somewhere, so let me just put it on the desktop here and make a folder for it. Actually, I just realized I have this Jungle Flasher, or this JRunner thing right here, so let me go ahead and save the OFW. Yup, as you can see, that is it. Light Touch Plus 3.0, we're going to use the same firmware, but we're going to end up using a different key right here. So, can I change the key, or actually manual spoofing? Load key.bin. I'm gonna have to grab a key.bin somewhere here, or let's see if we can grab this. And actually what I'm gonna do right here is I'm gonna put in the key manually. I just noticed you could do that, so I'm gonna go to KV info. Right here we have KV info. Going to double click copy, paste it in here. There we go. We're going to load it as, what is this? A VAD 6038, because we don't have to actually spoof the drives anymore. Let's see. Yeah, VAD 6038. I mean, we're not even doing a spoof, honestly, so we just kind of hit OK right there. Yeah, OSIG, PPBS, or, yep, VAD 6038, so no spoof needed. Those are different keys right there. And I'm going to save it to the file. We're going to save it as CFW, hit save, and now we're going to flash this over. So let's go ahead, write it. And again, I had to do that different key because I pulled this from an old broken system, so we have to match the keys on here with the new system that we're going to be working with. And wait for this. hit verified OK. I'm going to do a outro ATA reset. Drive is bin queue. It says the key is not found, but it's there. I'm going to do another one. And there we go. Alright, and yeah, those all look the same, all that fun stuff. So, neat. Alright, so this right here is probably going to be the least impressive part of this whole install right here, because I'm just making sure the DVD drive works. So that's Flash's custom firmware. Grab my backup copy of Skate 3. Let me go ahead, close the drive right there. So the drive is actually hooked up to the Xbox itself. Let's make sure this is reading. Spinning up. And what's gonna happen? Oh man. Oh, that's loud. That is loud. There we go. And perfect. We have Skate 3 working. Alright, let me exit out of this. This is just, that's so loud, man. Oh boy. Alright, so we can at least confirm that backup games and stuff are working on there. Let's go ahead and eject that. And there we go. So we have at least the guts of the system redone right there. And just after, oh my god, it is almost 1 in the morning. Damn. Alright, so we have the system right here. Jasper, JTAG on the latest dashboard right now. I need to do more stuff with this. I need to actually, we're going to put this into a case and I'll show you that. But I need to get some sleep right now. I've been up way too late doing this, but this is so fun. Alright, so before we tear down for the night, I am going to, because I want to make sure this is fine, I'm just going to remove the wiring here and clean this up, just so I don't have to do it tomorrow. Well, technically later today. So, let's go ahead and get this all melted. There's that. See, this is one of my favorite things, when you have everything done and working and then you can tear down. Because, oh man, it is so rewarding, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. And it's so much easier. Like, you saw how long it took to put all this in? Look how easy it is to remove. It's easier and faster to destroy than it is to build. But building is still really fun and rewarding, don't get me wrong. Come on. There we go. That's done. Last one. Alright. And there's also spare solder right there. Got that out. Cool. Alright, all those are gone. What I'm going to do is, I got the wiring right here. Going to just, here it is. Going to clean up the tip. And let me just tin it before I turn it off. This is normally what I do to clean off my tip. Just tin it, turn it off, and then clean it. So you want to get all that solder off. But you want to have a fresh, brand new coat of solder on there as it cools down. There we go. Alright, so that will hang out on my soldering iron. I'm going to turn that down a tiny bit. That will be right here. I can take that off, thankfully, and I want to go in and clean all of this gunk up as well, too. So let me get some Q-tips for that, and I'll show you what I do. Now, I already cleaned up the bottom of the board, so I'm not going to show that because I already cleaned it, but there's any spare globs and stuff right here, which there will be. I'm just going to, you know, remove that first. It's really sticky now. It is really sticky. And I guess technically you don't have to remove this, but I'm going to remove it anyways just so it can stay clean. There's been plenty of installs I've done where I haven't cleaned off flux. I think it's probably better practice to clean it off, but I haven't, and it's not the end of the world. Doesn't mean I'd recommend it, just saying I haven't done it. Alright, there we go. So those are like the 3 points that I was fluxing. Now what I'm going to do is grab a little bit of this stuff right here. Make sure it's all cleaned up. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, I got a little bit of solder on this cap. But honestly, that's okay. That's not going to damage it. It's not like I just like glomped it on. It's like a little bit's on the side right there. And I think all that's gone. So, I don't even need the extra Q-tip, honestly. There. The system is now clean. It's JTAG'd. It's good to go. I am still very happy about this. Oh man, So happy. Alright, now I'm actually going to go to sleep, so thanks to the power of editing, you're going to get to see the next stuff here within a few seconds. Alright, hey, what's going on, everyone? It is exactly 9:18 p.m. the next night, and we're going to be working on this right here, so I'm going to cut this up. There's not going to be too much left of the video because I'm just putting together an Xbox 360, but just kind of showing you all the parts that I'm going to be using here. So we at least have, let's see what we're going to be doing. Got my screws there. This is nice and clean. That's really cool. So we got, you know, of course, the Xbox 360 right here. We'll go ahead, slide this back in. Let's pop the fans in here. I should probably, you know what, put this on the box at least. So I'm not just rubbing it all over the carpet. But we can go ahead, pop this in right there. This is the fan that we're going to be using, and the same one that we used in the video earlier. So thankfully this is all working now and stuff. I'm quite happy about that. We have right here a fan shroud, so everything can cool properly, and we got that flow and everything else. There we go. Okay, the fan shroud does go on properly. Just a regular ring of light. I don't have a modded one on here. I think I have a few spare modded ones, but I just don't care all that much right now to find them. Just going to put this back together. So we can put the ring of light in there. I'm going to screw everything back in before I continue with that. And then we got our DVD drive. So let me go ahead, you know, start screwing this in, at least to get everything secured, and we can continue. Alright, so we got this all put back together at least. Well, it's all screwed in here. So, you know, the original screws that were already in here, they are still back in here. Put them back in, as if I said that enough times. The ring of light, I ended up screwing this thing in as well too. So we have spare screws, we had a spare ring of light, all that stuff. Now what we're going to need to do is pop on the fan shroud. Again, this is a little bit janky, but looks like it's on there. Alright, cool. I can see through that hole. And we got our BenQ drive that we have now flashed over. So we go ahead, make sure it is notched upwards. It went inside just fine. Alright. There we go. Let's drop the drive in. Kind of gently if I can. If we have to use some force, that's fine too, but still. Oh. Maybe. There we go. Alright. There we go. We're not pushing down on any of the power things. So yeah, no. We're good now. So now for the actual case, that's going to be the next main part right here. I'm probably just going to grab, let's see, I think, you know what, it'd be appropriate to pop it in this guy right here. Although this one is mismatching, this is, you know, probably my most sentimental cases from my first 360, so, you know, complete black Elite case. I'm gonna go ahead, open this thing up, and slap it on here. Alright, so right here I end up taking off the metal shielding because this is actually outside for a minute as well too, back in my old apartment. And just looking here, it's kind of dirty, kind of rusted and all that, so, you know, I'm just gonna get rid of that thing. And I do have another metal shielding. I have this one right here from my red Xbox that is perfectly fine. So, let's see, yeah, that's the proper way it goes in. There we go. So, we have metal shielding. For anyone that's wondering, this is like for grounding and stuff. But we have a fresh metal shielding on there. I'm gonna go ahead, pop this on top, if we can. There we go. Alright, let me get my eject button real quick. It should be, actually, I got an eject button right here in this bag. So, let me make sure that goes in properly. Yep. Again, I don't have a clean drive bezel, but, you know, eventually at one point if I decide... Actually, hold on. What am I doing? No, never mind. I got really excited and I looked over because I do have a spare drive that I use to rip my games, but that drive doesn't have a bezel on it. Well, hold on. Actually, I am going to repeat myself. What am I doing here? Because I have this drive that does have a bezel. So, what we can do is kind of take this off if possible. There we go. So we got this drive bezel off. Alright, that's from the Hitachi drive. So I'm gonna have to take this thing off here too. So no more eject button. Pop the top off. Let's remove this bezel if we can. There we go. So dirty bezel off. And clean bezel on. There we go. So never mind. Last moment, I just realized I do have a clean bezel that I did not use a Sharpie on. So this Frankenbox should be good to go. Again, we're just going to have to pop the eject button on here. Let me see. I'm trying to do this without looking here. I was kind of looking at the camera a bit, but there we go. Okay, it did go on. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put in these 6 screws right here, and then we're going to start closing it up. Alright, so we're nearly there. Again, really happy I remembered I had that bezel right there, so we have that available to us. All clean stuff. The case itself is on there, and all 6 screws are on. I'm mostly proud that all the screws are in here, because sometimes you'll open up an Xbox that was previously ripped open by someone and it won't have the screws and blah blah blah. I mean, this one didn't, but I knew fully, you know, what was going on with it. So let's go ahead, pop these in right here. Alright, so those tabs, well, the front tabs popped in. Yep. Let's go ahead, pop the back tabs on, if I can. Hopefully. One of them did bust right here, unfortunately. But either way, let's give this a shot if we can. Alright, so those are sealed up. This guy right here is supposed to go in. Somehow. Oh, it looks like that's bent a little bit. There we go. There we go. Cool. Alright, so all the tabs are sealed. We can now pop the top on like so. Which, let me see. Normally to do this, I kind of just go in from the back, push it in. There we go. And right here. Oh, this one's missing another tab. I actually don't remember if this is my first one or not. Either way, I think it is. But, I mean, this case has been through so much as well. This is not the original faceplate. But, go ahead, pop this back on. And there we go. Ta-da! The Jasper JTAG is now complete. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hook this up again, test it, and make sure it actually works. And if everything works on it, then I think we can we can declare this thing to be 100% done. So here you all go. I actually ended up cleaning up the system. All I used was some Windex and a paper towel, and that was about it. And man, there were some colors that came off on that paper towel. But this is the nice thing. I mean, look at this. Like, for example, just the chrome bezel, it's nice and shiny and everything. So I got to, you know, flex my cleaning skills I had. Although, you know, the dust says otherwise. But I got to flex my cleaning skills that I used to use when I worked at a game shop. So we're going to test out a few things. First off, okay, thankfully, the eject button works. Sometimes these things won't work. And there we go. It booted up already. What's it doing? What's it doing? There we go. We got Zell right there, so that is still working just fine. Gonna turn that thing off for now. And I do have my hard drive from my dual NAND system. This is the exploit side. So there we go. Go ahead, pop that on. Let's see how well this works. Boots up. Cool. Alright. So I don't remember if I have fake anim on here real quick, but I haven't deleted the boot animation XEX file off here yet. So let's see.
Well, where are we gonna get the apples? Right here.
Oh god. So there's one of my boot animations. So this thing is working. That means that this is a truly exploited system and all the other fun stuff. Because it can read all this. I am going to need, let's see, I will need the dashboard files on here, so I'll worry about that later. Not too worried about that. But let's go ahead, test this out as well too. Got a my backup copy right here of Max Payne 3 that I end up digging up. Pop this thing in. And it should read. I'm testing this right now because it's a XGD3 title, so if this works, then all the backup games should work. And there we go. Max Payne 3 seems to be running. Let me go ahead even turn it on and just verify that it is running. I mean, of course, since we have a JTAG, we can just, rip the game over to the hard drive right there and be okay. But again, I do want to test that the flash drive actually does work. And there we go. We got boot. We got boot there, as you can see. So, neato. Extremely happy with this. So again, Jasper JTAG. Bit of a Frankenbox because we had to take this case from one of my first systems, if not my first system. We had the system already partially available to us. We JTAG'd it. The hard drive I'm not keeping on here for now. And then all the other miscellaneous parts like the ring of lights, the bezel, the screws I got from other systems and just spare parts I had. So this is a really fun spare parts rebuild. And now I'm definitely happy that this thing works. I am just very, very ecstatic that it works now. Yeah, again, JTAGs are fun. That was easy as well too. When it came to the actual install and all, it was a pretty easy setup. So much easier than an RGH or RJTAG or anything else. There's that. Sweet. And one last thing, just to show you all, because some people they like to brag about their RGH boot times. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. 5 seconds. So retail system. Man, gotta love that. So yeah, this thing will insta-boot every single time. Perfect. Anyways, this is Mr. Mario signing off. Thank you all for watching, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed this right here, and I'm going to skip the boot animation. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this, and this is definitely, really fun to work on all that stuff, and I'm happy now. This is like... This is kind of like the pinnacle for me of exploitable systems I could get. I do have dual NAND systems, but I never had a Jasper original JTAG console, and I finally do. And after a bit of time, love, and commitment, it doesn't look too bad. Anyways, this is Mr. Mario, signing off for real this time. Later, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, a like would very much be appreciated. If you absolutely hated it, a dislike is fine as well, too.